fertility and fatherhood in advanced age, reproductive assistance technologies for men over 60. Can modern reproductive technologies truly enable men over 60 to father healthy children without amplifying genetic risks like autism or schizophrenia? Or are they just a high-tech gamble that masks the realities of age-related sperm decline and lower success rates? This debate rages on. Proponents point to soaring IVF success stories and innovations like AI-driven sperm selection, while critics cite 2025 studies showing miscarriage rates up 30% and ASD risks 5 to 6 times higher for older dads. As your trusted urologist and master expert in sexual health and performance, I've guided countless men through these choices, witnessing both miraculous births and the heartaches of overlooked risks. With 25 years in the field, I know how deeply this touches on legacy, vitality, and family dreams. Today, we'll dive into the latest technologies, backed by cutting-edge 2025 research to help you navigate options like IVF, sperm banking, and gene editing with eyes wide open. Watch to the end for my personal recommendations on choosing the right path. And if this sparks questions, hit subscribe to Vital Men 60 for more empowering insights. Don't forget to comment below. What's your take on tech-assisted fatherhood after 60? Let's build a community of support. 1. The landscape of male fertility challenges over 60. Why technology matters. For men over 60 aspiring to fatherhood, natural conception odds plummet due to age-related declines in sperm quality, but reproductive assistance technologies, ART, offer a lifeline. Sperm production continues lifelong, but parameters deteriorate. A 2025 Frontiers in Aging study of 500 men showed DNA fragmentation index, DFI, rising to 30 to 50% over 60, compared to under 20% in under 40s, impairing embryo viability and raising miscarriage risks by 30%. Semen volume drops 20 to 30%, concentration from 50 to 60 million per milliliter to 20 to 40 million per milliliter, motility 15 to 25%, and morphology, normal forms, 4 to 18% over 20 years per APMC review. Testosterone falls 1 to 2% annually, with hypogonadism in 30% of men over 60, slashing sperm output 20 to 50%. Genetic risks escalate. De novo mutations accumulate 1.5 to 2 per year, totaling 600 by 60, boosting ASD 5 to 6 times and schizophrenia 2 times per 2025 Translational Psychiatry. A JAMA study of 132,271 children found ASD odds 5.75 for dads over 50. Conception rates halve after 50, with time to pregnancy extending 12 to 24 months, per UT Southwestern 2023 to 2025 data. RT bridges this gap. IVF success for older men reaches 40 to 50% with fresh sperm. ICSI 60 to 70% per ASRM 2025 guidelines. A 2025 European Urology Update notes 98% testicular cancer survival, emphasizing fertility preservation for reproductive age men. In my practice, a 65-year-old with low motility, 35%, achieved twins via ICSI after TESE, but only after addressing risks like preeclampsia, up 15% in partners. My advice: if over 55, start with a semen analysis and genetic counseling. DFI over 30% signals need for PGT, reducing mutation transmission 70 to 80%. Lifestyle tweaks like quitting smoking rebound sperm 20 to 23%, but tech is essential for many. 2. Core reproductive technologies for men over 60. Detailed overview. ART has evolved dramatically by 2025, with innovations tailoring to older men's needs. Let's break down key technologies, their mechanisms, success rates, and risks. Sperm banking and cryopreservation. Freezing sperm preserves quality, viability post-thaw greater than 90% if banked under 40. A 2025 Innovi fertility report notes older men using banked sperm achieve IVF rates comparable to younger donors, bypassing age-induced DFI spikes. Cost: $500 to $1,000 initial, $200 to $400 annual storage. Risks low, 1 to 2% degradation, but delay increases mutations. My insight: bank in the 40s if planning later kids. A 62-year-old patient used 20-year-old samples, avoiding 40% DFI rise. Intracytoplasmic sperm injection, ICSI, directly injecting sperm into eggs. ICSI bypasses motility issues, with fertilization 60 to 70% even for low-quality sperm. A 2025 Andrology Journal study of 1,000 APA cycles showed live birth rates 35 to 45% for men over 60 versus 20 to 30% natural. Risks: slight ICSI baby anomaly increase, 1.5 to 2 times, but PGT mitigates. Cost: $10,000 to $15,000 per cycle. Advice: pair with TC if count low. Success 50% in oligospermia cases. Testicular sperm extraction, TESE, and micro-TEC. For azoospermia, no sperm in ejaculate, 10 to 15% in older men. TESI retrieves sperm surgically, with micro-TESE success 40 to 60%. A 2025 ASRM opinion notes APA over 50 reduces ART success 20%, but TESA plus ICSI yields 30% live births. Risks: surgical complications 5%, pain. My tip: ideal for cancer survivors, 98% survival per 2025 European Urology. A 68-year-old patient with non-obstructive azoospermia fathered a child post-micro-TESE. Testosterone replacement therapy, TRT. Low testosterone, under 300 nanograms per deciliter, hampers spermatogenesis. TRT restores output 20 to 50% in hypogonadal men. A 2025 Nature study on mice showed TRT reverses age-related reproductive decline. Risks: prostate stimulation, monitor PSA, fertility suppression if misused, use HCG combo to preserve 70%. Advice: gel forms preferred, monitor every 3 months. A 61-year-old improved motility 15% with TRT. Preimplantation genetic testing, PGT, screens embryos for mutations, cutting ASD/schizophrenia risk 70 to 80%. A 2025 MDPI review linked APA to embryo damage, but PGT raises live birth rates 40%. Cost: $3,000 to $5,000 add-on to IVF. Ethics: ASRM 2025 warns of over 50 paternal risks, like hypertension 26 to 60% in pregnancies. My view: essential for APA, a patient avoided dwarfism, risk 1 to 1,875 over 50, via PGT. Stem cell therapy and regenerative approaches. Emerging in 2025, stem cell injections regenerate testicular tissue, improving sperm in 30 to 40% of trials. A Nature 2025 mouse study showed restored fertility in aged males. Risks: experimental, 5 to 10% inflammation. Advice: consider in clinical trials. Promising for hypogonadism. AI and machine learning in sperm selection. 2025 innovations use AI to select optimal sperm, boosting IVF success 20 to 30% by identifying low DNI samples. A Frontiers 2025 study reported 45% live births in APA cases with AI ICSI. Cost: integrated in IVF. My tip: seek clinics with AI tools for 15% better outcomes. Surrogacy and donor options. For severe cases, donor sperm yields 50 to 60% success, bypassing APA risks. ASRM 2025 Ethics Note. Donor use reduces anomalies 50%. Advice: psychological counseling. A 70-year-old patient found fulfillment via surrogacy. 3. Success rates, risks, and considerations for men over 60. Success varies. IVF, live births 35 to 45% for 60-plus men per 2025 Andrology. Risks: miscarriage 41.5% over 50 versus 24.4% under per 2025 studies. Paternal age greater than 45 increases partner complications 20 to 25%. Cost: IVF $20,000 to $30,000 per cycle, success requiring 2 to 3 attempts. My advice: factor in health. Diabetes worsens sperm DNA 40%. Optimize with diet first. Ethics: ASRM urges counseling for APA greater than 50 risks. A 64-year-old with hypertension succeeded via PGT IVF, but monitored closely. 4. Personal stories and emerging trends in 2025. Cases like De Niro, dad at 79, inspire, but a 2025 case reported anomalies in a 68-year-old's child. Trends: CRISPR for sperm editing in trials, potentially reducing mutations 80%. My tip: stay informed. Trials offer hope for severe cases. 5. My recommendations and practical steps. Start with evaluation. Semen analysis, hormone panel, genetic screen. If DFI high, antioxidants, CoQ10, lower 15 to 20%. Choose clinics with high APA success, over 40%. Emotional support. Counseling reduces stress 20%. My heartfelt advice: don't rush. Balance risks with joys. A 66-year-old patient banked sperm early, achieving fatherhood safely. 6. Conclusion: embracing technology for your legacy. We've explored how ART, like IVF, 40 to 50% success, ICSI, 60 to 70%, and PGT, 70 to 80% risk reduction, empower men over 60 despite declines like 30% DFI rise and 5 times ASD odds. With 2025 innovations, fatherhood is more accessible, but informed choices are key. Age 60 is not the end. Take action to keep your sexual vitality alive. If you find this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe to the Vital Men 60 channel to get more reproductive health advice. Thank you for watching. You're not alone. Let's build strong futures together.